Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the DotaPit League Season 2 group stages. It is one of the most important leagues, or one of the most important games in the league thus far. Alliance versus Virtus.Pro coming up here in just a second. We're already well underway in the draft of this two-game series. Thank you so much for joining us. Of course, I'm joined by our stats man, as always, Mont Pax. Good guy. Thanks for being here. And, of course, none other than the man, the myth, the legend, F4L. How the hell are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm tired, but that's okay. You know, because we have this great tournament, this great game coming up, and I gotta say, it's been a while since we've seen, I think, such a close series. Although Alliance has played, let's say, rather shakily in the past couple of days. We'll see how they do against Virtus.Pro, who I believe is one of the top teams right now in the tournament, if you look at their standings. So, very important series coming up. Alliance need to win this and, get a spot for themselves towards that playoffs, whereas Virtus.Pro can continue to win and probably almost actually just punch a spot into the playoffs at this point. I think they're up there. They are at 7-1. If they win this series, I don't want to say that they're in 100%, but they're looking pretty damn good, so they've got options.
Yep. And I think I would say most likely this will be a 1-1, I would say. I think Alliance have put on a couple good performances. They're just not very consistent right now. At least not with the current mix roster or whatever they're calling it. With Henny, Ace, and My Nuts. But if we start looking at the draft, looks like they're going to start the draft by picking Venge, Bat, and Disruptor. So they're going to get themselves that Venge on Dire side. Give them a lot of Roche control, and it's like a natural counter to Bat Rider, so they get rid of that as well.
Mm-hmm. I like the fact that they have the Disruptor as well. I talk about this hero a lot, and I'm like, this hero needs more play. He deserves more play time. Although he doesn't play very well from behind. He's very good, I think, early on in the game, and with Glimpse as well, he could be very strong in getting ganks going. And Virtus.Pro pick up the Razor, so they already have two decent cores for themselves, plus the Ogre Magi, a very tanky team. Alliance, we've seen them more often than not really just rely on Loda and what he can play in order for them to bring them towards the late game. His Anti-Mage, he played it in a legendary way not too long ago. You weren't there for that cast, it was me and Ahaz, but still a pretty good series nonetheless. And we'll see if they pick up, a really hard farming agility carry for Loda in this game. They've got a couple of options.
Yeah, it's pretty much expected now, I think, for him to be on one of those hard carries. We did see them run the Dro Visage the other day, but it was a little bit unordinary for them. But, I mean, you talk about this Disruptor pick, it's really good against Sark because you have the AoE silence, and against Sark you really need to have these AoE disables, and since they first picked Venge and Bat Rider, neither of which having any real AoE disables, it's really important that they go ahead and pick up this Disruptor.
I'll lock him in place with the Kinetic Field and the Static Storm as well, which can take him down pretty quickly. And I think this is a good choice as well. Anytime you can get a big team fight on top of that Static Storm, they don't really have a combo with it yet, and I don't know if they need one. But a Glimpse Back can secure a kill no matter what. I mean, a Glimpse Back plus a Magic Missile Stun or even a Bat Rider Lasso is more than enough to take down a hero, assuming it's like not a Slark and he doesn't Dark Pact everything off, but even that. Mm-hmm. By the way, I'm curious, can you Dark Pact a Glimpse? Is that possible? I don't think so. But,
no.
Yeah, I don't think so. But
you can Yule's Glimpse. That's about it.
That'd be pretty rigged, though.
But I think against Disruptor on Slark, you pretty much have to go BKB at some point. So, and it's not really an item that Slark really wants to be
Virtus.Pro's
buying.
turn to pick.
And then, like we talked about, Loda just gonna go with that anti-mage, that typical late game carry agility hero. Definitely fits Loda's playstyle.
I mean, this is his hero to a T. He'll just sit back. He'll rise for 20 minutes. He might even have like a late battle fury. He doesn't give a damn. He will literally 1v5 the enemy team if he has to. He's done it before. The game I was talking about last week when he picked up the anti-mage, that's pretty much what he did. I mean, they had like, I forget who Hani was playing, but they had a Bat Rider for Ace, and he lasted a couple of people, and that was pretty good. But other than that, I mean, it was really just all Loda. He did so much work on the anti-mage. He was able to get up like 15-minute Battle Fury treads and maybe like a Yashin. It's like 40 minutes. He was like 6-slotted, and then he just destroyed everybody. But at the same time, Virtus.Pro, or rather the team that they were playing, which I believe was Complexity, they didn't really have this late game lineup. They had this very early game lineup with very little in terms of late game damage. It was a lot of push and a lot of early game pressure. And I think Alliance exploited that fact. They got to 40 minutes and they just killed everybody. It was a goddamn bloodbath at that point. So
Virtus.Pro, go ahead and pick up the Shadow Demon. It's sort of a soft counter to Anti-Mage because you have the Disruption and you'll burn up Anti-Mage's mana and you'll get yourself some nice Anti-Mage illusions. But at the same time, they really don't have a lot of stuns, only having the Ogre stun currently. So it might be quite difficult unless... I expect their last pick to be some sort of control hero, because they currently don't really have enough control to be killing this anti-mage off at all.
A Shadow Demon is certainly not going to help that much. He'll just be able to blink out of Disruption. Ogre has one disable and that's it. Slark does really nothing. Razor obviously does nothing. So yeah, they need something to really lock this guy down. Otherwise, he's just going to farm like crazy. I don't know if there would be any way for them to stop him from farming without a really big last pick here. Alliance, they have a choice. They already have two supports. They have the Bat Rider. They probably need a mid for Hani. I don't know what they go for. We've seen them pick up like Invoker before, but in this lineup, that doesn't really make sense. They need something that works. Brewmaster would have been good, but it was banned out first, obviously, as they know that Hani's pretty good on that hero.
I mean, QW Invoker could be decent, possibly. I think it's sort of unlikely, like you said, that they'll pick up the Invoker, but I think QW works very well with Anti-Mage, as you can burn that mana. I think for Virtus.Pro, they'll actually go ahead and pick up Centaur. I think that's the best pick for them. I think it gives them that disable they need. Alliance are going to go with a Venomancer, so a lot of anti-push, I mean, just a really annoying hero, and it's probably going to try to create a lot of space for this anti-mage.
Yeah, this is something we saw the other day. They had the Venomancer and the anti-mage as well for Alliance, but it was a support Venomancer from Ake. So this is actually more, I think, of a core Venomancer than anything else. I don't think you'll see a core Avenger or core Disruptor, so...
Yeah, it's going to be a mid-Veno, I think.
Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about this choice.
I think the idea is that you sit this hero middle, and you're never going to lose your mid tower, so it opens up the map for anti-mage, because you're constantly spamming up the wards in mid, and honestly, most heroes need some sort of assistance when dealing with this Venomancer 1v1, so it'll create a bit of an opening and just creating space. It's not going to be like one of those games where you see, you know, Venomancer going like mana boots, mech, and then they push his 5. Probably not going to see that kind of style, but he's going to try to put a lot of pressure on the mid lane, try to free up some space so that Loda can get his farm up.
We saw Pycat pick up this hero the other day as well. He played it as a core. Might have been in the safe lane, I forget. Regardless, it was pretty good. He killed a lot of heroes just with his Poison Nova. They couldn't stand up to the poison damage that was coming up from the Venomancer, the disgusting goo that he does provide. So we'll see how this works for them.
Honestly, Veno is not so bad in that late game. I mean, you can't BKB the ults off. It's going to do tremendous amounts of damage once he gets up that Aghanim Scepter. So it's not a hero to be underestimated in the late game.
No, certainly not. I think that it could dish out the damage, and the Aghanim Scepter is just kind of, it's disgusting at that point if you can get to it at an early time here. And you mentioned there wasn't going to be Arcane Mech. We probably wouldn't see that build coming out from him.
I mean, it's possible.
Do we just see him go straight for the Aghanim Scepter in this game? Does he just rush it? Just go for that item as quickly as possible? Or does he build something else along the way to help his team out? What do we see here?
I actually have no idea because I think it depends on how the game's going. I think if Alliance start out with like if they start out strong, he could actually go for some sort of mech build just
10
because
seconds.
then
10
they might be able
seconds
to
remaining.
have like a four-man roaming, like
5
pressuring
seconds
squad
remaining.
without anti-mage and then anti-mage's off split pushing by himself. So it'd be I think it just depends on how the flow of the game goes, to be honest.
We'll have to wait and see. I mean, Alliance, they got to get something done here. They got to get a
Prepare for
victory going their
battle.
way. Like you mentioned, you thought it was going to be a 1-1 in terms of the series split. I can't help but wonder if Virtus.Pro could take this 2-0. This is a team that's played very strong Dota since the get-go of this tournament. If we look at their standings right now, Virtus.Pro are sitting at 7-1. Their only loss, by the way, their only loss coming to 4 anchors and a sea captain, which is surprising. They 2-0'd Complexity, they 2-0'd Power Rangers, they 2-0'd M5. This probably is the first real test for them, though. I mean, Virtus.Pro, besides 4ASC, haven't played anybody too difficult. I guess you could argue that Complexity is rather good, but you know, this might be their first real test of courage here as we will get underway here. Alliance, obviously, the team to beat. They've got Loda. He'll be playing the anti-mage with the poor man shield. Ake will be on the disruptor. We'll have Mina's playing your Vengeful Spirit up in the top lane. It is going to be Hani playing the safe lane Venomancer. And Ace is going to be on your Batrider, so maybe perhaps a dual lane mid coming up from Alliance. They can't seem to decide what they're doing yet as Minus is rotating around. I mean, Loda is still mid for the time being, but is this really going to be a mid anti-mage? I'd be shocked to see it.
I would imagine so, actually. I think it will do pretty well against the puck, especially with this poor man shield start. And on the side of Virtus.Pro, in the top lane, we're gonna have Sidoi with the off lane Razor.
Oh, Ace getting caught out. Pounce is gonna go. Is this gonna be your first blood? Kinetic Field's gonna fly. They actually have to back away. Jadam's taking a lot of damage here. No glimpse. And everyone will stay alive. Maybe there's a haste rune. BZZ is looking to try to fight as quickly as possible, but they are all together. They do not want him going down. So Alliance have to rotate 4 heroes just to stop BZZ, who, by the way, is going on a mission. He is hasted going to the top lane. Now his haste is gone, and okay, I think we're good. Sorry about that.
That's fine. In the mid lane, we're gonna have G playing the puck. On the Sark, we're gonna have BZZ, who has not found a home. Yol is gonna be playing the Ogre Magi, and Jodam is gonna be on the Shadow Demon. I'm not actually sure what BCC like ran all the way. Okay, this is very odd.
He's a marathon runner. He's going to jump onto Aki. He's going to pounce him, and he will hit him up here. But is there enough damage? Look at the damage getting pumped out. Now there's going to be the usage of that kinetic field. Jump forward in the first blood going for G, but he's in some trouble. He probably will give up kill the face shift coming out, but the right click is more than enough for Minut. The roaming Slark coming out, helping get first blood onto Aki. That was a weird situation. Very strange.
I wouldn't even say that's worth it, honestly. And I mean, sorry.
All good.
Something's in my throat. I don't know what's going on. My nuts actually doesn't have magic missile skill at level 1. It looks like he went for Wave of Terror, trying to stack up both camps in the jungle. So a little unfortunate, actually, that he didn't have stun, because I think he may have been able to save Ake. I'm not entirely sure.
Regardless, though, they are going to rotate these heroes around. BZZ is going to sit in mid with Yol, so it's a dual lane versus a dual lane, whereas bottom is going to be G now. He's rotated from the mid lane down bottom. So a lot of 2-1-2 coming out from both squads. Sidoi is sitting up top. He's solo against Hani and Ake. Down bottom it is Ace versus G. Well, G has 6 stacks of Sticky Napalm. He will salve up. Meanwhile, Shadow Poison is going to go into Ace. Jadam keeps throwing it up. Disruption as well. Illusory Orb's going to come out. Ace taking some damage. He does have boots. He's pretty tanky as well, and he will survive. The 4th stack, it gets the kill. He sniped him with the 4th stack of that poison. Jadam, well played. That was level 2 poison as well when it hit up. So, top lane, Sidoi gets a kill onto Hani. Goddamn bloodbath. It's 2:45. You guys can't stop killing each other for a second. Jeez, I can't catch up anywhere. It's ridiculous.
So we've seen a lot of interesting rotations from VP. It looks like they didn't want the puck against against Anti-Mage, so they do go ahead and rotate the Slark mid, but he is also struggling I mean, he's not doing so well in this mid lane either, so...
Magic Missile's going to go. He has no pounce either. He's out of mana. Loda tried to go for the kill, but he was too far into the tower at that point. And Yol just walks through, gets his clarity canceled. Meanwhile, bottom lane, G kills the Batrider again. Missed that one completely, so I don't know what happened there, but...
I think he dove G, and then he just dove too aggressively, and then he died.
Kind of an unusual start. I don't want to know. Got it. Excellent. That's what I like to see. Yeah.
Because I saw the Firefly, so...
The Batrider going too hard for his own good eventually will fall, but... So it's 4-1, and Virtus.Pro have this lead in kills, and in experience, and in net worth, but Loda is, again, it really doesn't matter, I feel like, what happens in this game. That's not necessarily true, because, I mean, Loda can farm all he wants, but there's still a Slark on the enemy team. There's still ways of shutting down this anti-mage. You still have Waning Rift, obviously. That is really good to shut down an anti-mage, but you're going to need a bit more.
Yep.
He's just going to run amok. Even with, like, Waning Rift and Dream Coil, it's just going to be too much to deal with.
And how is this top lane going? It looks like Hani sitting at 9 and 4, the Razor at 13 and 6. So Razor actually doing quite a good job against this dual lane. He did get that one gank from Ogre, so does look like Loda on this anti-mage with the haste rune is going to make a rotation.
Venomous skill's going to go. Loda's getting involved already. There's the static link. He has a haste rune. He's going to run away. Not going to lose too much damage. The static storm, rather, the thunder strike is still going. Sidori taking a lot of damage. He has to buy. There is the plague ward still hitting him up, and one right click should do the job. And anti-mage will get it done. 1,200 gold in the bank. He picks up his ring of health, and Quelling Blade will probably head back either towards the mid lane, or maybe they're going to trade. Hani will go mid, and Loda stays top. It looks like that might be the choice. Hani's actually just leaving. He's out of here.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of early game rotations, especially by these carry heroes.
Yol, are you dead? Magic Missile, Fire Blast is going to go. There's going to be great kinetic field. Yol is dead as hell. He was just sitting on the aggressive side of the river for whatever reason. In fact, BZZ is here as well, but he does have the usage of that Dark Pact as well as Pound, so he should be fine.
So they are going to put Hani in the mid lane. He should fare a bit better in this lane. It's much easier to play Venomancer in the mid lane, I think, than you just start spamming these Plague Wards and you pretty much get all the CS. The enemy mid laner does end up farming quite a lot, but...
Stop it.
I don't think Alliance are too worried at this point about that.
No, they don't seem to really mind. Hani, I think, right now, and I don't know, BCC actually, he's going to get glimpsed. He's going to avoid getting the bounty rune, which is picked up nicely. Meanwhile, there is going to be the Shadow Demon down bottom guarding the Invisor, and so he will get one rune. Top lane, Loda's getting static linked. Mina tested TP in. He loses 28 damage. Not the biggest deal in the world, but... I mean, Loda's off to a good start. 26 last hits, although G is sitting at, well, a lot. Meanwhile, top lane, there is going to be a fight breaking out. Minuts is going to get caught out of position. The Eye of the Storm, the Fire Blast did go, and Sidori has more than enough damage to get the kill. Aka has to back away. He's going to dive through. Aka's going to get Thunderstruck as well. No, rather, that's going to be the Plasma Field coming in. Sidori, Eye of the Storm goes on to Loda. Loda has no mana to blink away. He is in some trouble. That Disruption burns all of the mana, and Aki falls as well. Virtus.Pro are starting to run over the Alliance here. Nicely, 7-3.
A really interesting skill build coming here from the Razor, actually. He goes ahead and gets that point of at level 6 of Eye in the Storm, and actually paying off right there. I mean, I don't think he gets... Maybe they get one kill there, but I don't think they get all three at that point. And we see right there the power of the Disruption into just the one stun, able to burn off all of Anti-Mage's mana. And that's really going to be a problem for him.
I mean, he can't blink after that point.
He has to buy a wand.
He actually has, he's going to go for treads instead. It looks like he has the Gloves of Haste now. So we'll see how that does end up for him. So they gave Hani room mid, and I thought giving room for the anti-mage top was more than enough to get him some farm, but that's not the case. Virtus.Pro put the aggression on, and they have this early game team. Especially if the Slark can get some farm, they're going to be in a pretty good position, and BZZ has an Invisor, and he's going to look for maybe getting a kill here on Hani. They're going to try to jump in. Oh, the pounce misses. BZZ cannot have that pounce connected. Maybe they get it, but now there's going to be a Plague Ward put up. BZZ's got to be careful. He does have Shadow Dance, so he can always just get out of vision and go regen, and that might be the case, but Yol did rotate in to get a kill, but no such luck. He will get the 8-minute rune, which is going to be a illusion top rune spot. That's actually going to be picked up for BZZ. And they catch out a lot. Aki again, they disrupted him. Static Link goes through, and Does a lot of damage, but the Shadow Poison, that one does hit, and he should die. Yeah, Jotum comes in, and he gets the kill with the poison. You'll actually ignite it as well to secure the kill. So far, so good for this squad. Alliance down, they're diving past the creep wave. You look at where Minots is positioned, they're diving for him. Aloda is way back behind the creep wave. He'll try to take this towards the tier 2 tower. They will find Minots. There's the Dark Pack going in. The Pouncer already hit up as well, and they just right-click. They beat him down in the trees. They push him into the corner. There's nothing that poor Vengeful Spirit can do. She just dies. So 9-3 the score already, and it's not getting out of hand yet, but it's certainly going pretty well for Virtus.Pro. Loda can't really find any farm on the map. And they're going to find a tier 1 tower both bottom and top lane, it looks like.
Tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has
Needs to
fallen.
be back mid. Bottom lane's getting chased down. G is going to have to back away, coming up from Ake as well as Loda. And 9 minutes in, and it's looking like Virtus.Pro have everything they really need. G's going to have like a 10-minute to 12-minute blink dagger at this point, especially if they get a kill here. They're going to smoke up, and they might find something.
His blink's going to be really fast. And if we also, Batrider has his Blink Dagger, so doing quite well for himself after that rough start.
Disruption. Loda's going to get caught out. Waiting Rift as well. The Fire Blast, and they just blow him up. The Ignite, the Illusion Orb. He can't even blink away. That is a great 3-man gang squad that is destroying Loda. He cannot get his blink off. And speaking of blink, G will have his at about 200 some odd gold. They're going to just make sure that the glyph does go out, but this tower should still fall, I think, here.
He's just getting absolutely destroyed by his own illusions from this mana break.
Radiant's middle tower is under
G does
attack.
get the kill.
Dire's bottom
Phase
tower
shift, he's
has
going to jaunt
fallen.
away. He does pick up his blink dagger. He's going to try to TP out now.
TP.
Flame break is not going to go. They had no idea where he was. Really smart play to jaunt to the trees there. That was good. They couldn't get the kill. Oh my god. Virtus.Pro just running away with this one, man.
Things just seem to be falling apart for Alliance, and I mean, it's so easy right now for them to gank Loda. They just need the... I mean, right now they might even just be able to kill him with Shadow Demon and Puck, just because of how ahead they are. And he has only the level 1 mana break, but that burns 28 mana per hit, so there's going to be 2 illusions, so it's going to be burning about... What is that? 50...
Oh
56.
my god. BZZ. There's going to be the Shadow Dance. Minots is getting essence shifted down. Right click forever, for days. She's going to get Magic Missile. He'll still be alive. Now there's going to be the Disruption. Hottie getting doped to tower as well. The tier 1 is not going to keep them safe. BZZ got glimpsed back, and the first thing that he did was turn his attention towards Ake. He pounced right on top of him. They just destroyed everybody in that game, in that matchup. And
Radiant's bottom tower
oh
is
my
under
god.
attack.
It's becoming a disaster quickly for Alliance, and they've got to find some way to get Loda some free farm, and they finally will in the top lane, but they're going to try to kill him again. Blink, Waiting Rift, there's going to be the Illusion Orb coming out the Jaunt's way. Plasma Field goes in, Loda Mana Void onto G, and he'll actually stay alive for the time being. Loda's going to try to eat his way through. Static Link, he'll have to blink away, and they want the courier. They're not going to be able to find it. Loda's going to get pushed back, so... And now the gang squad coming from Alliance. They're going to try to find somebody here on the back end of this.
Radiant's bottom
Ace,
tower
Minots,
is
and
under
Aki, they're
attack.
looking for somebody. They will have the glimpses to use, but Sidoi looks like he might get away. No, he's staying here. Firefly's going to go through. Ake has his glimpse ready to go. There's the lasso. They're going to glimpse him back. That actually breaks the lasso. Static Link's going to go as well, but he will fall regardless. That is a bit closer, but the Fire Blast's going to go in. Minots is going to get ignited as well. No multi-cast coming up from Yol, unfortunately, whereas Minots is still getting a little off to TP away. Looks like he will make it out. No disruption from Jotum.
This nice siege creep scouting for Alliance.
Dire's bottom tower
Poison Nova in the mid lane. Hani's going to get blown up, but he will do some damage before he dies. BZZ Shadow dances a lot of the damage. G can phase shift some of it. And bottle as well, but...
He nicely uses the bottle first and then phase shifts to get himself a little bit of regen.
Yeah, he's done that a couple of times, and he's really, really, really putting his phase shift to good use.
And this is going to be a pretty late Battle Fury coming out from Loda. It's 12 minutes in the game. He has 1,000 gold on top of his Ring of Health, so could buy that Perseverance right now, but not going to be having any of the damage components of that Battle Fury, so probably expect to see maybe a 17-minute Battle Fury at this point, possibly even 18 minutes.
That's so rough. Hani's going to get caught out. He TP's back to the lane and just dies to BZZ. Alliance are getting dove at the tier 1s, at the tier 2s, pretty much all over the map. They threw up the Demonic Purge on Ace. He takes 3 stacks of that Shadow Poison damage. That'll bring him down pretty low. He should survive, though, just fine. Meanwhile, BZZ blinks in. Static Storm going as well. Shadow Dance not doing much there. Ake has to back away. G was doing some work. And so they get another kill. And they don't even really need these towers. They're putting pressure on so effectively that they don't give a damn. As long as they're stopping Loda from farming freely, he's not getting his Battle Fury. Like you said, 17, 18 minutes. And if he keeps dying or if he keeps getting pushed back, it might even be later than that. Which is a huge problem.
Yeah. And also the other problem is going to be that who else is going to be doing anything this game? Sure, they have this blink on Batrider, but that's like pretty much it. They have only Treads and Aquila on the Venomancer, so he's not really tanky, not doing too much damage. He just dies because he doesn't have any disable for himself, and Alliance are just lacking disables at the moment and not really fighting as a unit, constantly getting picked off. You know, they're in like a group of 2 or 3, but VP always have an extra member. So VP doing a really good job this game of taking advantageous fights. And BCZ does have his Blink Dagger, picks up that point booster, so... And he's just going to go in.
He's going to try to man fight him to Ake, and he might be able to get this kill. Shadow Dance is going. He's still stunned up. There's the Fire Blast coming. They're still diving. Shadow Dance is off a stun. It looks like he'll make his way out. And rather Dark Pacted. Zedoi's going to get chased down by the Plague Wards. They won't go up to the high ground. They know that this is an awful idea. They know that they'll probably die. Hani throws up the Plague Ward regardless out of the high ground, which will give them some vision, but... I mean, they just run at heroes, and it's successful. And on top of this, Sador is getting his point booster. He'll get his Aghanim Scepter. The same can be said for Yol, who has his point booster. He's going towards his Ags. BZZ, like you said, going for the Scotty. They're going to counter ward as well. BZZ just blinks over to the high ground, and Darkback's going to go. Lasso's going to fly. Ace is actually going to take a lot of damage here. He got pounced up, and BZZ getting disrupted defensively. Darkback's going to go. He might be able to pounce out. No, this Static Storm comes in. They finally get a kill. That's helpful for Alliance. Mega kill streak will go to Loda, which is a lot of gold.
A really important kill for Alliance, but it took so many resources to get that kill. They needed 5 heroes. And Hani's getting coiled in the mid lane.
Is he dead? Yeah, he's dead. So that's
G
another
does
kill.
Go for that Midas kill that we've been seeing a lot on pucks recently.
Yeah, G sitting with the hand of Midas, sitting at 1100 gold as well with Blinking Treads, and he's feeling himself right now. He's got the highest net worth, by the way, GPM of 500, so yeah, this is looking pretty solid for G. Although we've seen some players go for like Eul Scepter, they don't even pick up the Midas afterwards. They've gone for it this time around. And
I don't think I've actually ever seen Fata getting Midas on that hero.
No, I think you've mentioned that before, and I think you're right. Silence is going to go through, multicast. Loda's going to get Static Link to lose your orb. He is still alive to jaunt through the plasma field, and it's more than enough damage to secure the kill. And at least he had his Claymore. He's not at his broadsword yet, so still looking about 17 to 18 minutes for this Battle Fury. And they're going to keep going here. They will pounce in. G's going to go to work. Ace is about to fall here to the right click, and yeah, he does just that. Now the Fire Blast and the pounce away. There's the swap to the high ground. Nicely played. And the low ground hit, but no, the missed chance from G does not get the kill, but they still get it with the Ignite. Well, it's more than enough to get three heroes there in that fight, so really well played from Virtus.Pro yet again to get another fight going their way. Alliance are on the verge of collapsing and losing this first game here. They've got to find a way to get Lotus some farm, and it's just not there yet.
I'm not sure really how they stem the bleeding in this game anymore. I mean, obviously the #1 priority right now is to get Anti-Mage's Battle Fury, but even with the Battle Fury, he's just going to be constantly under threat of dying, and he needs like Battle Fury, Manta, BKB before he can actually stand up and fight. And then at that point, what are these heroes on VP going to have?
An Aghanim Scepter for Razor, first and foremost. Almost an Axe probably on the Ogre Magi. Probably Scotty on BZZ pretty soon. They're going to try to fight, though. Blink Lasso onto BZZ. He didn't Dark Pact it. He's in some trouble. Shadow Dance is available, but Magic Missile's going to go, and he's going to die. Yeah, I did Shadow Dance for that, but he still goes down in the end. Sador's going to get glimpsed back. There's the Static Storm as well. He is in some trouble. He might kill Midas before he dies, and will, but the Mana Void going to Loda. That's going to be a couple bit of gold going for Loda after Sador's death. And that is going to be Loda's Battle Fury at 18 minutes into the game. They desperately needed that fight. Without it, I don't know what happens, but they get it done, and some heroes are dead for about 28 seconds.
2 of the important cores on Virtus.Pro. A little unfortunate for BZZ that he wasn't able to Dark Pact off that lasso. That's pretty much the main reason why Slark is so good against Batrider, because it's just so hard to lasso him. And, you know, that's one way for Alliance to start getting back in this game. If they can find a couple of these pickoffs, you know, they need just to find some fights where they have a numbers advantage so that they can use Glimpse to its fullest potential. They pick off one, then they glimpse one person back so they can get 2 kills in a situation where they would ordinarily only get 1. So
and
maybe
it's not like these glimpses have been bad either, though. That's the thing. It's just that they can't pick up these kills after they glimpse the hero into the kinetic field. Like BZC's just pouncing all over the damn place. He'll shadow dance, and it's kind of the rough thing for Aki in this game.
Now, all that being said, I think Alliance have quite good high ground defense with this Venomancer. It's very difficult to dive into the base against.
Oh my god. BZZ gets another kill. He will get lasted up. The Mana Void as well. They pick up the kill. Static Storm is actually turning out to be pretty good. Multicast into Minots. I have the Storm is going to go. There's the Poison Nova. Sidoi is going to take a lot of damage. He does have the Axe Scepter, and Demonic Purge is going to fly. Fire Blast as well. That'll be into Ace, but they don't have enough damage. They've only killed Ake right now. Sidoi is getting low. He actually might die. They're going to have to deny him. They won't be able to. Hani gets the kill. It will Dream Coil. They do get the kill onto Minots. Now Loda's going to get multicasted as well. Look at the damage going in the Waiting Rift. Double kill for G. He's still chasing. He's looking for Ace or for Hani. There's the Eul Scepter coming in. That's going to be from G. The Illusion. Hani might be able to dodge it. He will. But they see him clearly. He's still dead. Flame Break's going to go. They take down Loda, the most important core on the side of Alliance. Although they still lose 2 heroes for Virtus.Pro. Killing Loda is by far and away the best thing that could happen for Virtus.Pro at this point.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate for him. And this Disruption just doing so much work against the Anti-Mage. He gets disrupted, then after Disruption happens, he gets coiled, and there's just nothing he can do at that point. He's just getting wailed on by his own illusions.
The Shadow Demon pick has been solid at the very best for Jotum. He's also gotten plenty of kills with solo Shadow Poison, which has been really impressive. But like you said, the Disruption against the Anti-Mage is pretty good.
It is like a soft counter to Anti-Mage, so not too surprising that it's putting in a lot of work.
Yeah.
And he does go ahead and pick up his Yasha recipe, so looking to build towards that Manta. Definitely going to need it to survive in these fights.
Yeah, might not be enough, though, once he gets that Manta style. BZZ, Slark is sitting out an Ultimate Orb. No, that's G's Ultimate Orb, rather. But they will gank up. There's the Shadow Dance going in. BZZ's trying to fight. He pounces away. He's got a Haste Rune as well. Sidoi pops the Eye of the Storm. Yul's going to come in, and there's going to be a Fire Blast on the Ace, but there's no follow-up. Forced down to the low ground. BZZ blinks forward. He doesn't want to pounce just yet. Dream Coil onto 2 coming from G. He's got a jaunted Waiting Rift. Ake in some trouble. There's the Fire Blast going in. Look at the damage. 2 dead, both supports. Ace does blink away. Still with the haste from BZZ's going to find a pounce. He's going to find Ace. Now the TP's going to come away. G has no Dream Coil, but he's got the Eul Scepter. The Illusion Orb's going to catch, and they get the kill. 3 dead. That one is just called. Down bottom lane, you have Hani sitting in the trees. Top lane, Loda is farming, yes, but they lose 3 heroes in the process of him doing so.
Yeah, I think the second Alliance saw that haste rune onto BZZ, they maybe should have made the decision to back. It's just so dangerous chasing, especially a Slark with a haste, and then they end up overcommitting just slightly too far, you know, trying to maybe pick him off or, you know, just chase him back, and they end up getting turned on when his allies came to help. They get turned on, and this hasted Slark is just chasing them down.
They're putting in so much work between all of the heroes of Virtus.Pro. They're going to try to find another kill. Minots is going to get caught out. Blink, Dark Pact is going to go. And the pounce. And G just gets the kill. He's actually godlike at this point. And they're going to put some pressure on this first Tier 2 tower. I'm surprised they haven't taken any Tier 2 towers since the start of this game. Or since like 5 minutes ago when they had all this pressure. They should take this one though. Maybe not. This is going to back up. They don't want to go.
I mean, they really don't have great heroes at taking these towers. The Razor probably the only hero that's good at taking the towers with the Aghanim's Eye of the Storm, but when Razor isn't there, you know, not too much tower damage coming out from the other cores in the Puck and Slark. Slark not really known as a hero that kills buildings.
My concern is that if they wait too long, Loda can get back into the game. I know he's had a rough start, but Well, maybe not. There's an Aghanim Scepter for Yol, so...
I mean,
don't
I
know.
think the problem is that he's just going to get disrupted into Coil or Silence or Fire Blasted, and even on top of it, now the unrefined Fire Blast. And he really just needs 2 items at this point to even be able to team fight. He needs both the Manta and the BKB. Maybe at that point he'll be able to get back into this game, but until then it's going to be quite difficult.
They must have a gigantic lead.
Dire's
14,000
top
net
tower
worth
is
lead for
under
Virtus.Pro and a 15,000 experience lead. And what has been the most one-sided game I've seen in some time. Score's 30-9, by the way. They smoke up. Virtus.Pro are looking to try to find a kill here. I mean, double Fire Blast seems kind of ridiculous at this point. However, they might walk into the entire enemy team if they're not careful.
Dire's top tower
They will have a
is
TP
under
coming in
attack.
bottom. Jadam's going to sit right next to this Observer Ward. He's going to
Dire's
come
top
through as
tower
well,
has
but
fallen.
they will take the top tier 2 tower with Razor getting it done with the Eye of the Storm. He actually has a Hyperstone. He's going to be going for an Assault Cross, by the way. They will find out. Minuts, I believe, yeah, they got the kill on him rather easily.
Had his way with you.
Indeed, Slark did have his way with Vengeful Spirit. And they're going to push into mid. They're going to push this out as quickly as possible.
And at this point, if you're Alliance, you just try to hold on to these towers as long as possible with the Venomancer. Hope that VP overextend. There's not. When the lead is this enormous, you have to hope for mistakes at this point, because honestly, like, even playing perfect from this point on is probably not going to win you the game. So they need to hope that VP maybe overplay their advantage, dive them too aggressively,
Radiant's
let
top
Ant
tower is under attack.
wait too long to push. I think there is a point in time where Alliance can fight once, when they get this Aghanims on Venomancer, when they get 3 or 4 items onto Loda. Maybe they can fight against this VP, but until that point, VP are definitely in a strong command of this game, and I think once the Razor gets the AC, that is going to be go time, at least towards, maybe possibly pushing up the high ground.
I mean, they have everything else they need.
Yeah.
There's no real other item that they could get except for... Is the Scotty done yet? No. So BZZ actually needs that second ultimate
Radiant
orb.
structures are
And he's pretty
fortified.
close to this guy. He's not too far off. But they
Loda
use the
actually
sacrifice,
doing
but
a really
Sidoi's
good
going to
job
get lassoed down bottom. They will be able to take the Tier 1 tower as well. There's the Static Lincoln, or rather the Static Storm, and he just gets blown up. The glimpse onto BZZ he actually gets glimpsed back away. Disruption coming in. I think Jadam is currently alone. He's going to die here. Flameburst's going to fly, and Loda gets a double kill coming out. And he picks up the Manta style. Although the illusions, they're going for Aki, they do get the kill with the Ignite. Yol comes in as well. There's the one Fire Blast. The unrefined Fire Blast is going to go as well, but no multicast there. And that did a lot of damage, but not nearly enough to get the kill. And they're all going to TP away.
Support dying to his own carry hero.
The way of the world, unfortunately, for Aki this game.
Upset for Aka.
Yeah.
Just a really rough game to be playing support, especially up against this Slark who pretty much does what he pleases at this point. I really like what Loda did in that fight. He sort of baited them in by blinking away, and then Sidoi was confident to try to walk up and deny the tower.
That didn't work out for him, though.
Nope.
No. He goes down. Static Storm expended, and the Lightning Heroes do battle yet again. Ake has been, he's been killed a couple of times. Him and Minuts have, like you said, not been having a good game against BCC. He just goes and kills everybody. So close to that second ultimate orb, he will have it soon, and then he just needs to get the damn Orb of Venom, and then he's good to go. He'll have his Scotty. He's not unkillable at that point, but he's doing a bit more damage, and he's not dying as easily as he once would have. So for Alliance, not only do they have to deal with Sidoi, who, by the way, has the Ags that almost hit a Assault Cross like we talked about. They have to deal with BZZ, who has a Scotty, the Ags on
There's a
Yol.
Hex as well on G.
Right, and they're going to find a hero. Disruption's
no,
going to
he's
go
gonna
in.
get Hex.
Anti-Mage is going to get caught out. There's the Hex coming in. The swap coming through. No jump because they are silenced up here by the Static Storm. Jump's going to get caught out, and Lowe's going to try to man fight and will get the kill. So support for his support exchange is the unrefined Fire Blast. Meanwhile, the Dream Coil Minuts gets his TP canceled because of it, Waiting Rift, and it actually turns into a 2-for-1. At the very least, the Loda does survive, but now they're going to push into the Tier 2 tower down in the mid lane, so...
Alright, I was concerned for a second. Loda blinked next to the secret shop, and I was like, please don't buy a Reaver. Because I think a Heart is definitely not the item he wants. He definitely needs a BKB.
We'll see. I mean, he's had enough money to buy the Ogre Club. What's he flying at? It's a Talisman of Evasion. I don't know if this is a casual Talisman of Evasion or a full-on Butterfly that he's building towards, but we'll see.
I mean, I think Butterfly's a terrible choice against Shattered. I mean, you're just making your illusions stronger. They do 60% damage. Like, that is nothing to scoff at. And if you're adding additional agility...
Regeneration.
He might just be picking up the casual Talisman of Evasion,
Talisman
though,
of Evasion, yeah,
against the Disruption. I think that makes the most sense.
Possibly, but then at the same time, that item isn't really that cost efficient in terms of...
Ooh, what a Mantis Towel. He does get the pounce off regardless, but still. Good Mantis coming out from the Anti-Mage. Gloom's back. Kinetic Field, Shadow Dance going in. He's got a Dark Pact. He's got Pounce. Can't use it. Static Storm comes in. Magic Missile as well. BCC is going to fall. Good AoE Static Storm to secure the kill. Good for Alliance to be there and ready to go on BZZ. So, Scotty was done, by the way, but they're going to go for Roche now. Alliance, this is going to be something that gets them back into the game. And Loda all of a sudden has the most net worth in the game, or very close to the most net worth in the game. Although, again, he is the Anti-Mage, but...
Quite well for himself. And honestly, Anti-Mage does really well against Sark, especially with this Disruption. It's just going to be how these team fights progress. You know, if Disruptor gets jumped on by, let's say, the Puck and he gets silenced, then obviously he's not going to be able to lay down that Static Storm and Kinetic Field, which are both two incredibly good skills against Slark. So it's going to depend highly on the positioning in these fights. But I think Alliance now, you know, slowly clawing themselves back into this game. I think VP have made a couple of mistakes, maybe not 5-manning, pushing these towers. I think they even could go for a Roche play with the Eye of the Storm, you know, just use the Eye of the Storm onto Roshan. They have the AC.
Is a great conductor.
Yeah, it would be so difficult for Alliance to teamfight into them at Roshan.
I mean, they would really need a good Static Storm, but even that. And I'm surprised that nobody's built BKB for Virtus.Pro yet. You talked about it in the draft. I mean, I think if you get a BKB, it makes one or two of these heroes useless.
Actually, I think BKB for the heroes on VP, I think they only need it on Slark, to be honest. Possibly Razor as well. The only reason why you need it on Slark is because of this Disruptor. This actually isn't a great BKB game against the Alliance heroes because it doesn't help against the Swap, the Bat Rider Lasso, it doesn't help against Venomancer ult. It's pretty much solely for the Anti-Mage Mana Burn and the Disruption, but for the Slark, it's definitely worth it, because, I mean, we've seen him die multiple times.
He needs something to keep himself alive, although the Scotty's there. I don't think it's been enough.
No,
He's going to take down the bottom tier 2 tower. He's going to farm top lane while that's all happening.
And honestly, the way that BZZ has played this, he's starting to fall behind, just because he's been going for these pickoffs all game instead of trying to farm himself.
I mean, he's sitting at, what, 4th in net worth right now, so yeah, he's not had the best couple of minutes here. Everyone's grouping up around Roshan right now, and they actually get the kill on Jotum, who was just sitting around, I think, trying to counter ward at the time, but... Well, I think they gave up a gem, potentially. Yeah, they just gave up a gem. I don't know why Jotum was there alone, counter warding. That was kind of silly. So he gets caught out and dies. They gotta try to keep going.
I think VP are still in a have a commanding advantage, but I really would like to see them force themselves like onto Alliance. They just constantly are getting picked off currently, and if they allow this to continue, I think Alliance could actually make a comeback into this game. Loda actually does go for that butterfly, so you know it is a very good split pushing build, and it helps him a lot in these 1v1s, but it's not. I mean, it's just not going to be so useful against the Hex of the Puck as well as the Disruption coming out from the Shadow Demon. So I don't entirely agree. I can understand where he's coming from. It's not a terrible item. It's just, I really think BKB is the best item. But at the same time, maybe he's thinking, you know, if I go Butterfly into BKB, that might be a little bit better just to give me that, you know, extra bit of BKB timing. So, because if he went BKB first, he would probably use it once or twice, and then he would... You know, you would have the diminishing BKB. Not really something you want to have, so.
Well, at this point in time, it would be nice to have the BKB, but the butterfly has been completed, and Regardless, there will be enough damage for Loda to start standing up in these fights. BKB would certainly make sure he doesn't die. There's going to be the Hex coming in at Ace, and they're going to use the Fire Blast as well. Dream Coil is going to get popped, and the double Fire Blast coming in for Yol gets the kill. So, and who would the gem for Alliance, I wonder? I think it was on the Bat Rider. Meanwhile, they're going to get caught out. Loda's going to try to fight here. There's the Mantis Style going through. G's going to come in the Illusion Orb. Loda's going to get scouted out. Jump into the high ground. BZZ. Static Storm goes. Glimpse. No, not there yet. BZZ actually gets away from the Static Storm this time. And they will try to keep fighting here. Although the Poison Nova did get off. Blink. BZZ's looking for a pounce target. Can't find one. Pounces to the low ground. Aki's actually going to make his way out of there. And Sidoi will wrap around. Loda is kind of alone here, but he should be fine.
Yeah, Lions have to leave. The Poison Nova only hitting one hero in the puck, and Alliance can't fight after that, especially after losing the Bat Rider.
They're going to go for Roche now, maybe?
Yeah, they really should. Yeah. I mean, they should have done this probably 5 or 10 minutes ago. Looks like Sidoi is going to start going for that BKB for himself. What is Slark building towards? Oh, G's actually going to pick himself up a full Aghanims completed, so G is really farmed this game. Yeah,
this is going to be something that I guess maybe one of the reasons why you don't go for a BKB in this game. I mean, I guess you still want a BKB if you're a Loda regardless, but at least you have a reason why it's not so bad not having it. Pounce up to the high ground. He's going to try to fight. He's going to kill the Observer Ward first and foremost. Joel's up here as well. He blinked up, and they're going to try to fight on Loda and Minuts, but they're alone. They'll back away. They don't want to get hit up with the Mana Break coming in from the Illusions, but they will regardless. They have to pounce away and run. So they're all kind of spread out, but... wow. Loda Farmer, 33 minutes, 19,000 net worth, 890 GPM over the last 15 minutes, which puts him up for the average of 611 GPM. And with the way he started, that's pretty damn impressive. They've just said, hey, listen, go to the jungle, get some farm. Hey, we'll give you a couple kills eventually, but at this point, just don't die. Just keep farming. It's fine. This has been really good for Alliance.
Alliance are going to be at their strongest once they have, you know, the 6 items on Anti-Mage and then the level 16 onto the Venomancer with the Aghanims. And they might have a small window where they can actually take some team fights. They also, I think, need a BKB onto the Bat Rider. He's just sort of getting blown up in these fights, but if he's able to BKB, blink, and lasso someone, there's not really much that VP can do about it. Maybe they can defensively disrupt, but aside from that, they might actually just be able to blow up the Shadow Demon first, and then if the Shadow Demon is dead, then Anti-Mage can play a bit more freely. And it looks like Hani does go for a Blink Dagger, so he's going to be able to get off some better Poison Novas.
Yeah, Sandy Yol. They're going to catch him out of position. It looks like he's actually got the gem. He's going to die, and the gem's going to get given back over to Alliance. So Alliance actually gets the kill. That's a mega kill streak that he gets again. BZZ is hunting for Minuts, but again, the Plague Wards have done a nice job of making sure BZZ can't blink forward. So Hani, who's been kind of quiet this game, who has got his Blink and Acceptor now, or he's almost at his level 16 Poison Nova. There's the BKB coming out for the Anti-Mage. So now Loda is an item or two away from 6th slot, and that's actually just an item away.
Probably going to be Abyssal.
Yeah, and then at that point, they'll probably be able to fight, like you talked about, level 3 ultimate coming out from the Venomancer. But for Virtus.Pro, they're still in an okay position. I mean, they still have a lot to deal with here. There's still a lot of Tier 2 towers to be taken on the side of Alliance. They need to get these Tier 2s to be able to push up to the high ground, but that, I mean, they need to just be able to take fights.
My only concern for Virtus.Pro is that Slark's not really doing a lot of damage right now, and if he goes for a damage item like Abyssal, then he's not going to have a BKB. And he's sort of been getting destroyed by this Static Storm. I mean, also, he doesn't have anything to deal with the evasion on Anti-Mage.
He's going to get close again, and there's not a Static Storm follow-up, unfortunately. They could have gotten the kill, perhaps, but they decided against it.
It's on cooldown.
Dream Coil's going to go. Wow, what happened there, G? That's not what you wanted, buddy. That was not the best Dream Coil coming out from G, but they'll try to fight. Blink. Pounce might go. It's going to find Minus. They're going to go, and here's the fight breaking out. Loda pops the BKB, so does Sidoi. Now the disruption on himself going through. Static Storm is up, but Ace is taking so much damage. Joel going to get caught out. Mana Void. Loda's going to work, but he's the only one alive. They're going to try to find the kill here. He will make his way out of here scot-free. Well, I say scot-free, but they've lost 4 of their heroes, so Virtus.Pro more than happy with that engagement. It breaks out with the blink of an eye, and everyone just dies and collapses. Sidoi kills everybody with Eye of the Storm. She doesn't even need a Dream Coil.
The problem right now is that everyone on Alliance is dying to this AoE damage from Virtus.Pro except for Loda, and they really need some BKBs, most likely on this Batrider and Venomancer, just so that they can withstand the initial damage coming out from Virtus.Pro, because I think the longer these teamfights draw out, the better for Alliance, just because they have this Venomancer, the Anti-Mage can constantly be blinking around. But if these teamfights are short and more burst-oriented, definitely favors VP.
Is a great conductor.
Also, by the way, BCC got an MKB flying out to him. He actually has it now.
Right.
So this
So
is
he
what
does
you're
have a
concerned
way.
about.
Yeah, I mean, he does have a way now to deal with the Anti-Mage, but at the same time, he's still susceptible to that Static Storm. So I expect him probably to look towards the BKB next. He really needs that item.
Oh, that's the Bastion coming out. So the Abyssal is almost there for the Anti-Mage.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's enough. I mean, if Anti-Mage
It's
is
not enough,
1v5ing the entire time, it's really just not going to do anything. G's going to find out Hani. There's the Hex going through. He's got the Illusion Orb in 6 seconds. He's just going to right-click him down with Dream Coil, but the Yule Scepter going... Oh, the Gale misses! And G's going to get the kill. Phase Shift. Static Storm. Blink out. Nope. Self-fuels. Phase Shift's up in 1 second. Lasso comes through. They get the kill. Probably not worth it if you're G.
Get thee to the underscape.
Especially that was a godlike streak.
That was what? Loda getting it? He's got enough for his Abyssal now. He might just go and buy it. He won't have buyback, obviously, but... Yeah, I think he'll just save for buyback, then go for the Abyssal Bait, and then try to fight as best as possible, but...
Yeah, and I think the main problem that Loda is having right now is he can't really... He wants to jump on one of these cores, probably, once he gets this Abyssal Blade. You know, and Manta, and then Abyssal them, and then kill them. But at the same time, if he lets these supports do whatever they want... I mean, if he doesn't go on the Shadow Demon, the Shadow Demon is just going to disrupt whoever he goes on. So, it's a pretty... It's a tall order for Loda to be able to 1v5 in these teamfights. He's going to need some help, and it looks like we're going to have a Shadow Blade from Ace, so... Not going to see a BKB from him. Loda, I mean, Hani really not close to any items.
Down on sorcery.
I mean, this is the problem with the Anti-Mage, that you give him so much farm, your team doesn't get anything. I mean, it's great that Loda's the most farmed hero in the game, but this is not the same game where they were up against the side of complexity and he was able to easily 1v5. This is a different roster, a different lineup that has plenty of farm within all of their heroes. I mean, even Yol, for God's sakes, as an Aghanim Scepter, he'll just fucking kill you. He's just gonna kill you. He's gonna throw out his Fire Blasts and you're
He
dead.
has a blink as well.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's all over the damn place. This guy's not your typical ogre. Smarter than the average ogre, if you will. Plus level 4 Bloodlust are on top of, like, what, BZZ or even Sidoi is frightening as all hell, so... I mean, at this point, it's gross.
Like Ace trying to use that Shadow Blade to get some vision.
It's a very strange pickup. I've seen it before, but...
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it can work because he hasn't shown, right? Okay, there is a gem on VP. That's actually... Alright. This item actually does nothing.
So, yeah, it just doesn't do anything at this point.
Gives you some movement speed, but that's
What about a BKB? Like, why wouldn't he just get the BKB? 16 times in 2.5k Batrider Pro games. 16. How many of those times were just kind of clowning around is the real question. We'll never know.
I'm sure a lot of those are on Bone 7.
Actually, I've seen some of those in NEL. I wonder if that includes NEL. Do they consider
No,
NEL as
they
pro
don't.
games? I wonder. I'm not sure, man.
It's on, like, esports profile on Dota Buff, but I don't think it's on that Dota.
Okay.
A prize.
Well, Blank, Glass is going to go. BZZ, no. Oh, he did Dark Pact it off. He's going to try to fight now. Meta going. Static Storm, Sidoi pops the BKB. The Abyssal goes out of BZZ. Magic Missile as well. He'll fall first. Sidoi is static linking all of the damage. It's a 2-for-1 exchange so far. G is looking for more. He's got Blink soon. Now the Demonic Purge out of Mine. They've got to leave this comrade behind. It looks like the Yule Scepter is going to go. Sidoi. Loda's going to try to come back in. The Fire Blast coming through onto Minots. Now the Hex up by the Loda. Can they bring him down? The Waning Rift, he's got no BKB. Now the Disruption's going to go in. Soul Catcher, I don't think they can kill him. He's going to blink away immediately. They actually keep Minots alive. Now there's a fire blast, the multicast unrefined onto Minuts. The vengeful spirit will go down. So they abyssal the Slark, but they kill everyone else. And it's more than enough. Wow, Loda got so close to dying there. And it's ridiculous.
There's just too many threats right now on the side of VP. Loda can't deal with all of them.
6 of those Shadow Blades were Bone 7, who is 5-1 with the build, so 10 of the 16, huh? Or rather 6 of the 16. I mean,
I'm pretty sure you just Bone 7 when he's winning on that hero just sort of goes full retard. I mean, he buys like the silliest items sometimes.
I like the refresher build. I'm a big fan of that.
I mean, he just does it when it doesn't even matter a lot of the times. Because you see when like the game's close, he like goes real items.
Yeah. What do you consider a real item though on Batrider? I mean, he builds everything on that hero. What exactly is real?
I think Mask of Madness is fine, but
yeah,
I think like everything else is like kind of. I mean, if you don't have a BKB and you're buying like refreshers and Mask of Madnesses, usually it's probably better to have a BKB, but.
Well, I agree with you. Loda's got a solo Roche, by the way. Who's picking up the Aegis? This is actually huge. Loda can now fight a bit more aggressively here. He's gonna put down. What did he? Did he put down his BKB? He just put down his BKB. Nah, he doesn't need that. Forget it. He's just gonna have that courier with him the entire time. No, Ake picked up the BKB. Ake's gonna try to give the BKB to Loda during the middle of a team fight, assuming he doesn't die, which is a pretty big assumption at this point.
It should be on the courier.
No, it definitely should be on the courier. There is no doubt that this item should be on the courier, but Ake's gonna carry it around. Okay, please. Okay.
This actually makes no sense because it's actually just far inferior to having it on the courier. What if he just dies and then he doesn't have BKB?
I mean, that it's gone and it's not there. That's the end of the story. The game's probably over at that point if Loda dies twice. Well, if he dies once actually, and they catch him a second time with like Axe or something, he'll just die twice. But
his buyback.
Oh, that's true. Okay, fine. That's good. Smoke of Deceit, they're going to try to run into Alliance here. Sadoy is the only one that has not been grouped up with the Smoke. His BKB now to 8 seconds. His Aghanim sits with 3.5k gold in the bank. Sadoy will farm up, and they'll try to bait him, it looks like. And everyone else from Alliance is going to head bottom instead. They realize, like, we don't want to get caught out. Let's just sit behind our anti-mage right now. They might just head top and go for the tier 3 tower and try to force TP rotations. Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do. Waning Rift's going to go, and yeah, this is going to be a tier 3 tower getting assaulted. Time to TP back. They already get one in. Where's the rest of the squad? Tier 3 tower getting assaulted by BZZ. Problem is BZZ is going to get glimpsed, but he's actually fine. That glimpse did nothing. And they can even think about going again. Glimpse is now down for 13 seconds or so, but they're going to TP bottom. They want to kill Minuts. TP in. They're going to find Minuts. Now the Dream Coil is going to go with the Yules. They don't even need the Dream Coil. The X will fly in a second from G. He's just going to right-click Minuts down. G's going to get Magic Missiled. Obviously, there is no TP scroll as Minuts have already used it, and he does Ethereal Blade, or rather Ghost Scepter, I should say. And he's just going to die. He couldn't leave because of G's phase shift. So G gets another kill. Nice play there, but that's pretty close.
That's not where you want to be, Ace. And, I mean, at this point in the game, Loda's not... So he has 1 slot left, so...
Well,
what do you go for?
I mean, he has his BKB, right?
The heart? Oh, I guess he does. Okay.
So he has no slots left. Even with bots, he has no slots left.
Condolences.
Condolences, Loda.
He needs like 2 slots to carry this, I think.
It's time just to get the courier, your classic courier.
Please allow 10,000 gold for additional slot.
That'd actually be not awful, because like if you're ever getting up to 10,000 gold, you deserve that slot anyways. It's like the Mushi challenge.
Can you imagine though if they like added if you could buy slots for 10,000 gold, that'd be something.
I think that would cause quite the uproar. I don't know if it would be a bad thing.
Oh, I mean that's just so expensive.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, are you really going to complain about the fact that it costs 10,000 gold to get another freaking slot? See, this is why like we're casting, man. Like, it doesn't matter who I'm casting with. We always come up with good ideas. The other day, I was with Nahaz.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
No, it's a great idea. Listen, it's a great idea. Listen. G's going to get lassoed. Hold that thought. Loda's going to come in and just kill his ass. Yep, there's the Abyssal. G's dead. Loda is godlike, by the way.
Matters not to me.
Here's thy reckoning.
Well, anyways, I was casting the other day with the Haas, and we were talking about how the Cold Snap nerf really screwed over the Invoker. And I was just like, why don't you just have Cold Snap be Quas Exhort and the damage scale with Exhort, and then Ice Wall be Quas? Because Quas Exhort doesn't make sense for Ice Wall anyways. Giotto's going to disrupt the anti-mage. He's going to get Glimpse back in kinetic fielded, but wow, he just died to a magic missile and a couple of right clicks, so.
Mott trying to make Invoker OP. You guys hear this?
I mean, listen, he's still pretty shit at his first couple levels with Exhort, right? Just think about it.
Yeah, but I don't even think the Exhort build's any good right now. I think you just play him Quaswex.
Really? Wow.
Yep.
F-Roll. Bringing out the big talk here. Loda's going down the mid lane. They have the H. They want the tier 2 tower. And they might find it. I think this is a dead tier 2 tower. Well, nope, this Glyph was backdoor protected for whatever reason.
Ake is still using this, still has this BKB. I'm just like sort of confused by this decision, to be perfectly honest.
Well,
I mean,
it might not matter.
well, there's,
They might be able to just take this.
I mean, G has buyback, but probably doesn't want to use it, I
This
guess.
tier 3 tower is dead, maybe? Static Link gonna be into an illusion. Loda might just go to work here. There's the Fire Blast coming. He still has the Aegis, by the way.
No, it's reclaimed.
It is reclaimed. He will back away. He realizes, hey, I'm actually regenning up. It's time to leave. That was kind of weird. It was just like it just started like
Alright,
regenning.
now he's got his BKB.
Static Storm's gonna go. They're gonna try to fight this. Loda will
no,
have
they
buyback.
missed.
Good Ghost Scepter coming out. Loda's gonna get Fire Blasted. He's gonna BKB, and Sidori's gonna try to fight. Minox just pounced down. There's the last one to BZZ. And they're gonna go to work, but they have no damage. Loda's on the other side of things. Demonic Purge is gonna go. He's gonna have to blink away. G looking for a Dream Coil. He's got it. He's going the distance. Can he find him? Eul Scepter's gonna fly. They're all chasing after him. Dream Coil. No, the silence. He's dead. He'll have to buy back if he wants to get back into things. And Virtus.Pro finally, they kill Goliath. And they take the damn stone and they throw it with, of course, the slingshot. They're going to go straight down mid. Although there are still some creeps in the base. Doesn't really matter. The tier 3 is gone. But again, he does have buyback. He will not have his BKB if he does buyback in the next 30 seconds. Which I don't think he will. But there's the refresher for Sidoi. It's flying out now. There's the refresher coming out for G. They didn't even use the Dream Coil that last time.
2 Eye of the Storm, 2 Dream Coils.
God. This is frightening. Alliance, it was a good try. Loda has 37,000 net worth. They're not done yet. They're not done yet. But this is almost impossible, I'd say, for Alliance to win this game. Almost.
Alright, so some next level anti-mage tactics. You drop your Battle Fury.
I don't know. We're going to find out. There's the Dream Coil going in onto 2. Hani's going to get caught out. He's done. I'm not sure if he got his ult off or not. Tier 3 tower's going to fall. Ace is still pounced up with the Dream Coil. Meanwhile, Loda's getting caught out. He's dead. He dies instantly. And they're running over Alliance. Virtus.Pro are going to take game number 1. The Eye of the Storm is too much. The Dream Coil. BZZ with the pounce, the MKB, and the Basher. They desolate Alliance in game number 1. Absolutely fantastically played from Virtus.Pro. They had it the entire time. A couple of misplays here and there, but 51 minutes in, it took them a while, but they got through Loda and his anti-mage. Well played from your Russian squad.
Yeah. I mean, it was a really good performance by Loda, I think, even on this anti-mage, so... Just, the early game just didn't go Alliance's way. Hani pretty much completely unimpactful on his Venomancer. Ace played pretty well on the Batrider. The support's not having a fun time with the early game lead that VP had, and VP just had some really good early game rotations on these support heroes and were able to get a fairly large early game advantage.
It was pretty impressive to see their aggressive playstyle come into effect. And they just destroyed everybody from Alliance. But Virtus.Pro, they go up to 8-1. Alliance, they move down. A victory here for Alliance could stave off elimination. And Virtus.Pro are looking so damn good here in Group A. Alliance are now sitting at 3-6. So a victory here for Alliance could mean a lot. We'll have to see if they will get it back going for them. 783 GPM for your anti-mage after what was an 18-minute Battle Fury. That's pretty damn impressive. We'll take a quick break. We'll jump into game number 2 in just a second, guys. Stick around. Of course, this is DotaPit. Shout out to our sponsors, Twitch, AMD, Sapphire, Tessero, and Sennheiser. We'll be back in just a moment. Stick around, everybody.